What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to Maps Exposed, the series where I cover all of the jumps, spots, and lines of sight that I know of on every map in Advanced Warfare. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the first of the Reckoning DLC maps, and that is Quarantine. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so just like with most of the DLC maps that we've seen in Advanced Warfare, we don't have a ton of really amazing spots for this series, but I do have some really cool spots on this map that I'm going to be showing you today. So the first one is right in here. This one is actually pretty practical. There's glass right here. This means you can actually shoot nades up through the rooftop here, and this is actually a pretty common place for people to lock down. They'll sit in here, they'll watch across there or over there. So it's pretty easy. All you have to do is launch a grenade up onto the rooftop there. Most of the time it'll just automatically roll into one of these windows here, and it'll kill anybody that's standing right in this area right here. Now getting over to this side of the A flag right here, if you have enemies that are going to be jumping up and coming from over here, and you're over here, you can actually shoot them through here really easily. You don't lose any bullet damage, and this actually goes both ways. So if you're right here, maybe you're attacking the A flag and you want to try and pick people off as they jump through here, there's a really easy way to kill them, is right through there. Now that doorway right up there, that's kind of a power position that overlooks the spawns over towards the A flag, and a lot of times people will sit up there trying to hold a spawn trap. I find the best way to kill them is to hug up close to here, come right behind these hay bales right here, just inch your way over, and there you go. You have a nice line of sight on him. All he can really see is your head through that little crack, and you'll be able to see most of his body, so you have the advantage in that gunfight every single time. Now right over here is a great way to attack or defend the A flag if there's people on the A flag. This little yellow pole right here, you can actually jump and then just boost slam onto and crouch, and when you're crouched here, you get a nice line of sight over towards the A flag. You can kind of inch your way over this way as well and try to see through here. Which is pretty good at getting a line of sight towards that window, or you just drop right down on the ground, which is much easier, and you get a nice line of sight over towards people that come through that direction right there. Now getting over towards this side of the map here, a lot of people like to sit right up on that area there, really common spot, and you don't really want to be challenging them from here. That's pretty much a fair gunfight. If anything, they might have a little bit of an advantage over you. Instead, I like to jump up on this little part right here and crouch. There you go, you have great cover now, you can easily pick them off from here, and you have a clear advantage in this gunfight. Now right over here is kind of an interesting spot. Honestly, it's probably not going to be the most useful in an in-game situation, but right through this window you can actually see a different portion of the map. I'll run around and I'll show you quickly what it is, but as you can see right here, you can see I can just barely see the one boom through here as I jump up. You can see him in that room there. So it could be used as a check spot, maybe in like Search and Destroy or something, but honestly it's probably not too practical. This is the window you're looking through, so you can see anybody that's in this room right here very clearly, as long as you're jumping and you know where to look for them. Now way back by the C flag here, a lot of times people will sit up on that area over there, that balcony, and they'll try and basically trap you in your spawn at the C flag. A great way to check to see if they're there is to simply come back right here. There you go. You can actually see right there, there'd be a guy, or you can maybe see him if he's over here. Unfortunately, you can't shoot through this glass at all. Maybe that is a good thing, I don't know. You can't do any bullet damage whatsoever through this glass, but you can definitely use it as a check spot. Now another thing about this room here, just like the opposite side, it's a relatively common spot for people to be hanging out. So they'll sit here and they'll wait for you there, or maybe if they're looking this way, they'll be looking over there. Fortunately with this one, you can shoot through this wall and lose very little bullet damage. So you can just kind of spray through here if you think there's an enemy in there, and once you get a hit marker, just keep shooting in that spot and you should be able to get a kill. The mirror to that though, I forgot to mention this when I was over here, you can shoot through this wall, but you deal very little bullet damage. It takes a ton of bullets to kill, so it's really not a practical spot unless maybe you're just using it to see if you can get a hit marker, just to see if somebody happens to be there. Now this next spot might be a good spot for Search and Destroy, or some other game modes possibly, but right up on that balcony there is a relatively common spot for people to sit to try and lock down. And this one, I want to thank the One Boom for. He actually found this while we were looking for spots on this map, and this is one of the best spots you're going to find on this map. If you jump all the way back in this corner with a sniper rifle, or even an assault rifle, you can actually see a good portion of that balcony, and you'll be able to pick them off right there. This would be awesome in Search and Destroy if you get a kill through there. Now one thing I wanted to point out in this middle room is this is all glass. So you can maybe try to launch a nade like from here onto the A flag, or from here onto the C flag. I didn't actually go out and find like the perfect nade spot or anything like that, honestly, because I just feel nades aren't as useful as they were in previous CODs because of the movement. But just know that you can try and launch nades through there if you want to try for a cool shot with a nade. Now again, if people are standing on that balcony just like that spot I just showed you, and you want to just check to see if they're there and you're coming through this side, you can see through this window right here and you can see pretty much the entire balcony. So it's a great way to check before coming around this corner. Just keep in mind, again, you cannot shoot through this glass. There's a lot of glass on this map that you can't actually shoot through. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of Maps Exposed. I know it wasn't a ton of spots, but there are definitely a few useful spots that I shared with you guys today. Let me know in the comment section below which one of the DLC maps you'd like me to cover next. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.